The drama begins by showing a blue car that comes and stops in front of a bungalow, and our male lead, Young, gets out of it. While he is looking at the house, there is a man with him who takes his luggage and says that staying in a hotel would have been better than staying here. But Young says that this place is even closer, and this time he will stay in Korea for 10 days. Saying this, he goes inside. Actually, the person who is with him is his uncle. His uncle tells him that anyway, since you are from headquarters, I can at least do this much for you. Now, when Young is looking around the entire house, his uncle tells him that since you have come here, you should meet your friends and all. But Young says that he does not have any friends, and he is not interested in all this. When his uncle asks him about food, Young says that he already has plans. Hearing this, his uncle asks if he is going to meet a girl, because just now you said you had no plans. But Young does not give any answer and leaves. After this, we see our female lead, who is walking on the street, and when her friend asks, she tells her that yes, she has done her makeup and everything. On the other side, we see Young sitting in a cafe wearing sunglasses. Just then, our female lead also comes there, and seeing him sitting alone, she smiles, comes and sits in front of him, and says that you have come here for a blind date, right? My name is Hongju, and I am Hiji best friend. Hearing this, he gets shocked, removes his sunglasses, and while looking at her, he remembers his high school days, when Hongju was smiling like this, and giving him a letter with a heart made on it in front of everyone. Now he asks her if she is really Hongju. Just then, a girl named Misu comes there, and seeing her, Hongju understands that she has come to the wrong person for the blind date, so she quickly goes to her partner, who was sitting at the back table. Now Misu starts talking to Young and tells him that they met at Joseph's wedding. Don't you remember me? But he is only looking at Hongju and says that so much time has passed, yet she hasn't changed at all. Then Hongju and her partner take her outside with them, seeing which Young also comes out of the cafe. But they do not see him, and they start thinking that does she really not remember me? Then they see Hongju going in the car, and she was looking at Young through the mirror. Her partner was taking her to a restaurant to eat pasta, but Hongju wanted to eat something else. However, her partner says that Hiji clearly told me not to listen to you, so we will go to eat pasta. Because of this, Hongju does not say anything. On the other side, after that, Misu asks Young if he will go to a bar with her, but he refuses. Then she tells him that she will drop him home in her car, but he starts making excuses that he does not know the roads here properly, and he sits in the car and leaves from there. On the other hand, that boy also wanted to drop Hongju home, but she refuses him and goes alone. When Young is driving the car, he gets a call from Joseph on the way, asking why he rejected Misu. She is such a pretty girl, but he has no interest in all this and says that he has come here for work, and will finish his work quickly and return. Hearing such, Joseph calls him boring and cuts the call. Then, when Young is waiting at a traffic signal, he sees Hongju sitting at a bus stop, tying her open hair into a bun, just like she used to before. He remembers his high school time, how she had given him a letter in front of everyone and asked whether he would write a reply to her. Now he calls out to her from his car, but just then a bus comes in front of him. She also sees him, but because the signal turns green, Young has to drive the car. So he takes a turn and comes back toward the bus stand. But by then, Hongju is no longer there, so he thinks that she has left. But as soon as he looks to the side and sees a food stall, Hongju was standing there. He also goes and stands near her and orders fish cake for himself, seeing which she does not react at all. When she is drinking fish broth, he also asks for some and then asks, "Hongju, don't you remember me?" She replies that yes, I remember you. Young asks, then, why didn't you recognize me? She says, what would I even do by recognizing you? Young says it has been 10 years since we met. Hongju sarcastically says, really? So much time has passed, and you were in the US, right? So how did you come here? Have you come to meet some friend? But he says that he has come for work and met her first. Hearing this, she takes his number so that she can give it to her classmates to talk to him. Now, when she is drinking the broth, Young asks her if she missed him. Hearing this, the broth comes out of her mouth and falls straight on his clothes. At the same moment, her bus arrives, so she pays the stall owner and asks him to give the remaining change to Young so that he can get his coat dry cleaned, and quickly boards the bus and leaves. Now Young extends his hand toward the shopkeeper to take something, but he hands him the remaining change and says that he does not know which foolish man parked his car in front of the bus stop and left. Look, his car is being towed away. That was actually Young's own car, and in exchange for taking the car, they give him a pamphlet and leave. Now he reaches home, and while working, he looks at the change and thinks that she has still not contacted me. Then, a little frustrated, he says that I am also not at all happy to have met you. But then again, he looks at his phone and says that who remembers what happened? Then we are shown a scene from 10 years ago, where Young was studying in a school called Obok-dong. He was going inside his school from the bus, and we see that his leg was in a plaster. As he was about to get down from the bus, the driver tells him that there is a schoolgirl sleeping behind you. Wake her up as well. So even though he does not want to, he has to go and wake her up. Then both of them get down from the bus and go toward the school together. But as soon as they reach in front of the school gate, Hongju sees that the teacher is giving punishment to late students. So she forcibly holds Young's hand and puts it on her shoulder, as if she is supporting him to walk. As soon as the teacher sees them, he starts saying that today again, you have come late. But she says that she was helping her friend. That's why she got late. But Young clearly refuses and says that she is not his friend at all, hides his name badge, and asks that if I am your friend, then tell me my name. She did not even know his name, and because of such behavior, she stares at him. Just then, Young tells the teacher that he met her for the first time today, removes his hand, and starts leaving. Then Hongju says that he has also come late. To this, the teacher says, look at his leg. He is injured. Then the teacher checks his bag, inside which all the notebooks were filled, and asks, where is your textbook? Seeing all this, Young leaves. In the next scene, Young is sitting in the classroom studying when he finds a novel inside his bag. Seeing it, he smiles. Actually, to save him from the teacher, Hongju had secretly put that novel inside his bag. Just then, the teacher calls Young and gives him a question to solve on the board, which he solves easily. The teacher happily says that he is handsome as well as smart and tells all the students that don't you get motivation by looking at him. Then he starts giving all the kids life lessons using him as an example. But Young was looking outside the window when he sees Hongju. She was also looking at him and smiling and waving hi. Then the scene comes back to the present, where Hongju, while eating, tells her friend Hiji on the call that today she met Young. Hearing this, Hiji becomes very happy and also a little shy. She asks about him. How is he? Hongju tells her that he is exactly the same as before and asks if just hearing about him makes you so happy. Really? To this, Hiji says that he is my first love, and she remembers her school time when Hongju was complaining about her student life. Hiji tells her that she likes a boy whose name is Young, and he is a top student. At that moment, he was passing by from the side, so she shows him to Hongju. Seeing him, Hongju says that, oh, this is the boy from the morning. Seeing him, I feel like breaking his other leg as well. But seeing her friend's side, she calms down. Hiji says, will I be able to confess to him? So Hongju motivates her that they both will definitely be together. She remembers that it was because of Hiji that she came to the ground and waved hi to him so that she could show him to Hiji. But Hiji did not even look at him. She was extremely shy. But Young thought that she was smiling at him and waving hi. After that, Hiji wanted to give Young a love letter, but she got very nervous and could not give it. Instead, she asked Hongju to give the letter to him. At first, Hongju refuses, but after a lot of insisting, she agrees. Now, in the corridor, she gives him the letter in front of everyone and says that this is from her friend Hiji. Back in the present, Hiji asks Hongju about her blind date because she was the one who fixed it for her. Hongju says that the boy is like a rock, someone she would never want to bring into her life. But Hiji starts explaining to her that how can you reject him so quickly? First go on 2 or 3 dates with him. Then only you will know what kind of person he really is. But Hongju does not want to talk more about this, so to close the topic, she says, do you not want Young's number? Hearing this much, Hiji becomes quiet, and she sends her Young's number. The next day, Young is holding a meeting in his company, where he does not say anything, but just by looking at his looks, all the employees are very scared. Just then, his uncle comes there, who is the CEO of this company, and tells everyone to focus properly on this plan. Along with that, he introduces Young to everyone. Then he asks Young to say something to everyone. But instead of talking about himself, Young starts pointing out all the flaws in the plan, how they have even made mistakes in the calculations. Hearing this, the uncle gets a little shocked and interrupts him, saying that you could really have become a professor in a big university, but you are working here. Then Young says that from now on, this order will be directly handled by the headquarters. And then he goes and lies down on the couch in his office. The uncle, being upset, comes to him and says that you came to Korea for all this, right? But Young says that this decision will be good for everyone. To this, the uncle says, why are you talking like Deo Sion? I know that Deo Sion started a company, but I manage the Korea branch. How can she do this? Here, he was actually talking about his mother. Young replies that it will still take a lot of time for him to become like her. Just then the uncle gets some work and asks Young for his car keys. Young gives him the keys but tells him that the car has been towed. Hearing this, the uncle gets shocked and says that I bought that car just a month ago. What happened that it got towed? Young tells him that he met a classmate, and while talking to her, he accidentally parked the car at the bus stop, so it got towed. Hearing this, the uncle starts doing a lot of calculations in his head and says that she was not your first love, right? But Young does not give any answer. Just then, he gets a call from an unknown number, and he goes outside to talk, where the call was actually from Hiji. She tells him who she is and asks whether he recognizes her. Young says yes, he knows her. Beside him, Hongju was sitting there and listening to everything. Hiji welcomes him back and tells him how another friend of theirs named Sangpil also wants to know about him, so they will throw a welcome party for him. In between, he hears Hongju's voice, so he agrees to come. When he was about to say something to Hiji, she hangs up the phone and becomes very happy that she will meet him again. In the evening, Hiji comes inside Sang's shop, where both of them are teasing each other while talking. Just then, Young also arrives. Seeing him, Sang-pil becomes very emotional and hugs him and asks how he has been. Then Hiji smiles and extends her hand for a handshake, but Young looks at Sang and asks who this is. Sang says that yes, I was sure you wouldn't recognize her. This girl is Hiji. She has completely changed her look, so that he does not say anything more. Hiji pushes him aside. Then Sang serves dishes to all of them. Hiji gets drunk very quickly and starts saying that you have now become a financial planner, right? Then Sang tells them that when he was in the military, he realized that he really loves cooking, so he started a restaurant 2 years ago. Hiji also tells them that she is a teacher at her school and says that how could Hongju have saved you, because you have become even more handsome than before. Then she looks at the time and says why Hongju has still not come. She was about to call her, but being drunk, she falls asleep on the table. On the other side, we see Hongju. While she is coming here, she gets a message from her boss asking her to go to a party and give a gift to someone. So Hongju goes to that party, congratulates the director there, and gives the gift. When she is about to leave, they do not let her go and pull her to party with them. There she sees Junho, whom everyone was congratulating a lot for the sales of his new book. As soon as she sees him, Hongju's face changes, and she wants to leave that place, but as soon as Junho sees her, he comes to her and asks how she is. The scene comes back to the restaurant where Hyeji is completely drunk, sleeping with her head on the table. Now Sang is sitting with Young and drinking, and tells him not to leave without saying goodbye like last time. Just then, Hongju comes there in a very drunk state. Seeing Young, she says, "Why am I meeting you everywhere these days?" She starts patting Hyeji's head and fixes her own hair a little, and was about to say that today she met her first love, but Sang stuffs food into her mouth, which was very spicy. Because of that, she starts jumping around as it tastes very spicy to her. Then Sang asks Young where he lives, and he tells him that he lives in Ugdom. Sang says that Hongju also lives there, so you should take her along, and I will take Hyeji. After this, we see Hongju coming from a store in a drunk state with some stuff, and Young is walking behind her. On the way, she suddenly sees her school, which makes her very happy, and she starts remembering how they met for the first time. Hearing her talk like this, Young starts laughing. Seeing him like that, Hongju says that you are not Young, because he never used to smile like this. Young says, "So this is how you think of me, and tell me where did you drink so much?" She asks him whether he remembers that she put a book inside his bag in high school. When she mentions the name of the book, she says, "Was it written in that book that first love is very precious because it happens only once, and first love is like frozen food. If we don't keep it in the freezer, it melts and expires. First love is like frozen food. If you keep it stored in the freezer, it's fine, but the moment you take it out, it goes bad." By saying this, she was indirectly telling him never to meet his first love again. When Hongju reaches in front of her house, she takes out a packet of ramen and dumplings and tells Young to eat them, and then starts going upstairs. Seeing this, Young gets shocked because this was actually his own house. He also starts going upstairs behind her. When Hongju is entering the password of her house, she suddenly turns and asks if he is following her. He apologizes and says that my love has already started melting. Then we again see a high school scene where Hongju was sleeping on Young's hand and Young was just looking at her sleeping. The next morning, when Hongju wakes up, her room is in a completely messy condition. Holding her head, she says that yesterday, she drank like a maniac. She remembers how she saw Junho at the party, how much she drank with the people there, and after that, what kind of things she did after going to Young's welcome party. Then he came to drop her home and left, saying, "See you tomorrow." Meanwhile, Young makes hangover soup for his uncle, which he happily drinks. His uncle asks how his time with his crush went yesterday, but Young does not say anything. So his uncle asks whether he can call his upstairs friend to drink the soup as well, because she was also very drunk yesterday. But Young shouts and refuses. Seeing this behavior, his uncle gets scared, but then Young says that I made it only for 2 people. Hearing this, his uncle says okay and starts drinking the soup. At Hongju's house, Hyeji comes wearing a mask and asks her why she came so late last night and where she drank. She says, "Because of you, Young must have felt very bad." Then Hongju tells her everything, that she met Junho. She could have avoided him there, but the director did not let her leave. Hearing this, Hyeji shouts and asks when he came back. Hongju says that yesterday she made a fool out of him properly because when he asked her how she was, she said with a stiff smile that she is doing very well, and she didn't even know when he came back. Hyeji looks at her in a beautiful way and says it feels like someone else has made her bloom here. Hyeji says that she will call him right now and ask what he actually wants, but Hongju stops her and tells her not to do that. Then both of them start talking about Young. Hyeji says that he has become even more handsome and mature than before. Hongju says yes, it seems so. Otherwise, earlier he was so bad, After she gave him the letter, Young never replied. Because of this, Hiji cried a lot, and Hongju had told her to stop liking him, but Hiji did not listen. Hongju says that I have already given him 10 letters, but he did not reply to even one. You should do one thing and like some other decent guy for yourself, but she still does not agree. We are shown that sometimes when Young was running, she would give him a letter, sometimes when he was reading a book, and she even went outside the male washroom to hand him a letter saying it is from her friend Hiji. She asked him to read it and give a reply, but he still had not replied to a single letter. On the other side, Young tells his uncle that he wants a favor. Ask the upstairs girl to take food to my blind date. Hearing this, his uncle says that you don't have much time left before you go back. You will leave in 2 or 3 days. So why don't you spend this time with your first love? But Young does not say anything and makes an innocent face and says that I am asking you for just one favor. On the other side, Hiji says that she talked to an astrologer who said that she will settle abroad, and don't you think that's why her English has become so good? That means now she will definitely go to the US with Young and spend her life with him there. Both of them excitedly say that they are getting a good feeling. Just then, Hongju gets a call from Uncle Wook, asking if she can take his nephew out for a walk. Hongju says, "Is it the same kid whose photo you sent? I can definitely take her." Because the phone was on speaker, Young also hears everything and thinks, why did she call me a kid? Then the uncle asks her to take him along as well. After the call ends, the uncle asks Young why he feels like you know both of them, and is Hiji your first love? But Young does not explain anything. Hongju asks Hiji whether she will come with her tomorrow, but she refuses and says that she has some work, so she should go alone. The next morning, Young wakes up quickly and gets fully ready. Just then, Hongju rings the doorbell. When he opens the door, she gets shocked seeing him and asks how he is here. He asks if there is any problem with him being here. She says, "No, I just did not think that you would come out of this door, and where is the kid?" Young asks, "Which kid? You are taking me out for a walk." Then Hongju shows him the kid's photo, and Young says that it is his childhood photo. She says that you are so grown up, you can go around by yourself, and starts leaving. He tells her that you are breaking your promise again. Hearing this, she agrees to go with him. When they are going out of the house, Hongju tries to call Hiji to tell her who is going with her, but her phone is busy. Young asks Hongju to drive, so she is not able to call again. On the other side, Hiji is trying to book a massage appointment, but everything is already booked. Because of this, she gets very frustrated and thinks that she doesn't know what work came up for Young that he did not come with her. Because of that, she did not make any plans for her Sunday. Just when she was about to call Hongju, her dad comes and asks her to go somewhere with him, because of which she gets even more frustrated and cannot call Hongju. On the other side, when those two are in the car, Hongju feels very awkward, so Young tells her not to worry and that she can treat him like a kid. So, just like she would take a kid out, she takes him to an amusement park, where both of them enjoy many exciting rides. When Young starts feeling a little dizzy, she brings some medicine for him and again calls Hiji, but she does not pick up. On the other side, Hiji has gone hiking with her dad and a boy named Sun. He was the same boy who went on a blind date with Hongju. There, she gets very tired and says she doesn't know why people like hiking. Is there anything here other than mountains and dirt? Just then, her foot hits a stone, and because of a sprain, she's about to fall. But Sun catches her. Seeing him so close, she smiles. When he looks at her foot to fix the sprain, suddenly something happens to him, and he throws her foot away so that Hiji does not think he has any other intentions. Because of this, she is about to fall again, so she grabs his hair for support, and both of them fall down together. They both apologize to each other for this. Seeing them lagging behind so much, her dad was calling them, so Hiji tells Sun to go ahead, because she will rest there for some time. Just then, she gets a message from Hongju saying that you will not believe who is with me right now, but she does not show much interest. At the same moment, she gets another message saying, I am back and I am coming to meet you. Reading this message, she starts running very fast and even overtakes her dad, which surprises him. On the other side, Hongju challenges Young to eat spicy ramen, which reminds Young of that day, how she was drunk so she couldn't eat anything spicy at all. Now she feels that she will easily win this challenge, so he says that whoever wins will have to fulfill one wish of the winner, to which Hongju also agrees. But after eating just a little, poor Young's condition gets bad. He drinks water and tells her that that day she couldn't eat Sang's cooked dish at all because it felt very spicy to her. Then she tells him that this happens because of being drunk. Her senses become extra sensitive and says that now he will have to fulfill her one wish. So, according to her wish, he takes her to a very innocent traditional place where everyone is wearing traditional clothes. Both of them also change into similar costumes. Hongju tells him that if someone comes to Korea and doesn't visit places like this, then what's the point of visiting Korea at all? Then she asks him to click her photos. He starts clicking many photos of her, but he is only taking pictures of her facial expressions. When she looks at those photos, she says, "Hey, not like this." My full photo should come. Until you take a good photo, I'll keep asking you again and again to click photos. But he zooms into her photos and says that all of them are already good. Then she sits down and starts getting more photos clicked. At that point, her hair bun gets loose, so she opens her hair and ties the bun again. In that moment, he just keeps looking at her. Just then, a call comes on Hong's phone. She even shows it to him, and it says that if you pick up the phone, you'll get scolded. Seeing this, Hongju says, Hiji, when did you change? Then Young takes the phone from her hand and says, I won't let you get scolded. And Hongju also agrees and tells him to put the phone away. Then she goes to the other side and tells him to take more photos. Young is refusing, but Hongju smiles and tells him to come quickly. So he has to go. But she still isn't satisfied, so she says, wait, I'll tell you how to take good photos. As soon as he stands there, she sits down low and starts clicking his photos. While taking photos, she squats too low and almost falls. Seeing this, Young starts laughing, and she keeps clicking his photos while laughing too. In the evening, we see Hiji standing outside her house. When Hongju comes out after talking to her parents, Hiji meets him there. When he tells her that he called Hongju today but she didn't pick up the phone, Hiji says angrily, you are such a big jerk. You yourself left her 3 years ago and went abroad, and now you're trying to come back into her life again. I will never let that happen. She is very happy in her life, and she was on a date. That's why she didn't pick up your call. Seeing this, he laughs and says that after whatever she has done to her face, even her personality has completely changed. Saying this, he leaves from there, and Hiji starts saying how a writer with such a psycho personality can even exist. The scene comes back to Hongju and Young. When they leave from there in the evening, Hongju says that because of the weather, they couldn't do today's highlight. Just then it starts raining. They get into the car, and this time Young is driving. Inside the car, she starts looking at all the photos from today and says that she will send them to him too. Then Young takes her near the river, where Hongju says that today's highlight was supposed to be coming here and eating fried chicken, but maybe that won't happen. Young wants to talk to her about yesterday, but before he can say anything, Hongju says that she knows what he wants to say and then apologizes, saying that she shouldn't have criticized him yesterday by calling him a child. Hearing this, he realizes that she's talking about yesterday and says jokingly, oh, so you were talking about yesterday, and starts laughing. Hongju then starts praising the place. She randomly starts pressing buttons, because of which her seat reclines backward. When she presses another button, the window opens by mistake. It was raining outside, so she starts getting wet. Seeing this, Young leans toward her and closes the window, but in the process, both of them get very close and feel very awkward. Then he sets her seat back to normal and gives her a tissue because she got a little wet. As soon as they reach outside the house, Hongju gets out of the car and starts heading toward her building. But because the rain gets heavier, she doesn't go upstairs and instead stands right in front of Young's house. Young also gets out of the car and comes to stand near her. He sees that rainwater is falling on her shoulder, so he pulls her toward himself. In between, both of them start feeling shy again. Then Hongju's eyes fall on an umbrella kept there, so she borrows the umbrella and starts going upstairs. While she is leaving, Young says that they'll go eat fried chicken together. She agrees and leaves. Young comes inside his house thinking that he is completely pathetic for talking about eating chicken together like that. On the other side, Hongju goes into her room feeling extremely shy. She says to herself that if someone asks her to eat chicken, that thing can feel so nice, just because he is so handsome. Today, it felt to her like he was about to kiss her. Feeling very shy, she goes to sleep. On the other side, we see Young lying on the couch when Hongju sends him the photos. In one of them, he is smiling, and seeing this makes him quietly happy. This leads into a flashback from 10 years ago, when Hongju confronted him in the library, asking why he still hadn't replied to the letters. Young calmly tells her that not replying is also a kind of reply. Hongju gets slightly angry and tells him that whatever he feels, he should express it to the person who likes him. She adds that he doesn't like anyone, so he wouldn't understand such feelings, and if she were in Hyeji's place, she would never like him. Hurt by this, Young snaps back angrily, saying she should tell her friend to improve her Korean instead of wasting time writing letters. Upset, Hongju walks away. Later in class, Sang asks Young about the incident and says, did you really say that? You're not that big of a jerk. You've rejected so many girls' letters before, but this time you keep receiving them. Isn't it possible that you actually like getting these letters? This makes Young realize that whenever Hongju came to give him letters, he felt strangely happy. In another memory, Hongju is in the library, writing a recommendation letter to add some novels. While working, she rests her head on her hand and falls asleep. Young notices her and is about to leave, but when her head is about to hit the table, he instinctively puts his hand in between. Realizing what he's doing, he quickly pulls his hand away and lets her sleep. He then reads her unfinished recommendation letter, and seeing how much effort she put in, rewrites it properly himself and submits it before leaving. When Hongju later wakes up, She wonders where her letter went, believing she must have finished it herself. Back in the present, Young lies on the couch, absent-mindedly thinking about when he should ask her to go eat fried chicken. The next day, Hongju arrives at her office and greets her colleagues, but everyone ignores her. Confused, she is called into her boss's cabin, where he informs her that the anniversary program has been finalized and that they will be dramatizing a writer's novel. Hearing this, Hongju is shocked and remembers a painful moment from 3 years ago when she followed Junho to the airport, begging him not to leave. She told him that if she had done something wrong, she would fix it, but he left without saying a word or even looking at her. Back in the meeting, Junho says that Hongju will assist him with the upcoming project. She immediately responds, "Why should I?" and adds that she only handles production work. Although she keeps smiling, her tone feels rude to her boss. Once the meeting ends, Junho steps outside and Hongju follows, pretending she needs to use the restroom, clearly intending to talk to him. Now both of them sit in a cafe. Hongju firmly tells Junho not to do this. Junho replies, "But you were the one who said we'd work together when my novel gets dramatized." Hongju says that she said that before they broke up. Junho argues that they never really broke up. He only went abroad for research, and adds that she still likes him, right? After all, he has come back now. The scene shifts to Young at Uncle Wook's office. Young tells him that because of some work, he will be staying a little longer. Uncle Wook says that all the work is already done, and jokingly asks if he is staying because of his first love. He even adds that Hiji isn't that pretty. While talking, they walk outside and notice Hongju and Junho standing near the cafe. Uncle Wook gets angry and says that jerk has come back, asking what he is doing with Hongju. When Young asks who he is, Uncle explains that Junho is Hongju's ex-boyfriend who left her and went abroad. Just then, Hongju comes out of the cafe and sees Young and Uncle Wook there. Uncle Wook questions her about Junho. At the same time, Junho steps out, grabs Hongju's hand, and confidently says that he knows she still likes him. Hongju pulls her hand away and tells him to talk only about work. When Junho refuses to stop, Young steps in, gently takes Hongju's hand, and casually says that her rubber band was left in his car yesterday, so they should go get it. Hongju immediately agrees, holds Young's hand, and walks away with him. They stop behind a wall. Watching them leave, Junho gives a small smile and drives away. Hongju and Young then step back into view, still holding each other's hands tightly. Seeing this, Young smiles unconsciously. Hongju suddenly realizes something and says, "Oh, you also work with Uncle," adding that her office is here too. She tells him to forget whatever just happened and starts to leave. Young lifts their joined hands and asks softly, "Should I forget this too?" Embarrassed, she pulls her hand away and walks off. Hongju returns to her office and sits at her desk. Her boss sits beside her and remarks that she took quite a long break, asking if she talked to her ex-boyfriend. Shocked, Hongju asks how she knows. Her boss explains that everyone already knows. That's why no one said anything when she came in earlier. She advises Hongju to put her personal feelings aside and focus on work, then hands her Junho's novel file. She explains that for their 10th anniversary, they plan to turn it into an animated movie, and asks Hongju if she wants to take on the project. Hongju hesitates, about to refuse, but her boss reminds her that she has been waiting for an opportunity like this for years. Now that she finally has it, does she really want to lose it because of her ex-boyfriend? Opportunities like this don't come easily. With that, her boss leaves, and Hongju is left deep in thought. In the final scene, Junho is on the phone, telling someone that he has handed over his novel to be adapted into an animated film and that he plans to see it through. His friend scolds him, calling him heartless. He left Hongju and went abroad, and now he wants to work with her again. The friend adds that Hongju cried a lot and even came to him asking about Junho, but he refused to tell her anything. Junho replies jokingly, "If you hate me that much, why don't you join my fan club?" His friend answers that he already has. When he asks if Junho really thinks Hongju will work with him, Junho confidently replies that yes, she definitely will. The scene returns to Young, standing with his uncle. Young asks him who that man was. While handing him a cup of coffee, Uncle Wook casually replies that it was Junho, Hongju's ex-boyfriend. Hearing this, Young is completely shocked and accidentally drops the coffee. Uncle Wook starts shouting while cleaning the mess, but Young is lost in thought. At that moment, Young remembers something from their school days. Back then, Hongju was writing a recommendation letter for a book written by Junho. To help her, Young had secretly written a long and well-crafted recommendation himself. Realizing this now, Young understands that he did all of that only because of Hongju. This realization hits him hard. Uncle Wook, noticing his reaction, is also shocked and asks, "You did all this for Junho?" Young replies that not only that, he had done something even bigger. We are then taken back to their high school days. Young had to go to Seoul for an interview related to his Seoul National University entrance exam, as he had won a gold medal in a math Olympiad. As he comes out of school, a bag suddenly drops in front of him from over the school wall, and Hongju pops out of the bushes like a ghost. While tying her hair, they ask each other where they're going. Hongju hurriedly makes excuses, saying she isn't bunking class. She's just not feeling well and is going home. She goes to the bus terminal, buys a ticket to a place called Chairman, and gets on the bus. Soon after, we see that Young is sitting on the same bus. He receives a message from his mother asking if he's in some trouble, but he ignores it. Later, Young gets off at another bus station, buys a ticket to Seoul, and checks his bus. Just then, Hongju appears in front of him and asks if this bus goes to Seoul. Showing her his ticket, Young says that he's going there and threatens to call the school to report that she's skipping class. Hongju tells him there's no need for that. He should just quietly go to Seoul and let her enjoy herself. Despite that, the next scene shows both of them sitting together on the same bus. Hongju angrily asks him why he's following her. Young replies that he doesn't know himself. When her stop arrives, she tells Young to get down with her as well. Confused, he asks why he should. She replies, "You just said you're following me, right?" So both of them get down at the bus stop together. Hongju then takes him to a place in front of a military division. When Young asks whom she has come to meet, Hongju opens her hair, fixes her hair clips, and nervously says that she has come there to confess her love. Seeing her like that, Young is completely stunned and can only watch her walk ahead. Back in the present, Young holds his head and tells all of this to his uncle. Uncle Wook is equally shocked and says, "You skipped school for her? That means you don't like Hongju's friend. You like Hongju herself. You're even staying here for another week just because of her. Don't you think you're acting very strangely? This isn't like you at all. You can't like Hongju. She's not even your type." After warning him, Uncle Wook leaves. Young is left alone, sitting there with his head in his hands, completely shaken by the truth he has finally realized. At that moment, Hiji gets a call from Hongju, who tells her that she's leaving. Hiji tries to stop her, but Hongju doesn't listen and hangs up. Hiji then tells Young that Hongju had some work and left early. In reality, Hongju deliberately leaves so that Hiji can spend some time alone with Young. Hongju goes straight to Korkiki, Songpil's shop, Porkiska. As soon as Songpil sees her, he understands that something is wrong. He jokingly tells her that if she wants to talk about her problems, she should talk to someone else. He's only there to cook food for her. Hongju then tells him that Hyeji is currently with her first love, Young. Hearing this, Songpil is completely shocked. The scene shifts back to Hyeji and Young. While drinking beer, Hyeji asks him directly what is really going on. Young tells her not to drink anymore. She replies bitterly that if he can't like her, then he shouldn't care about her either. Young quietly says, "Okay," and doesn't stop her. Hyeji asks if he's going back to the US. He doesn't answer, but she understands from his silence. She says that she thought he truly liked Hongju, but now it doesn't seem that way. She also reminds him that for the past 10 years, she has been Hongju's guardian. Her number is even saved on Hongju's speed dial, so he can never replace her. Saying this, she leaves, telling him to think carefully about everything. Meanwhile, Hongju is eating at Sangpil's shop and tells him that her boss has decided to make her the producer of an animated movie project. Sangpil says that this is great news, but when she tells him that the novel they're adapting is actually written by Junho, Sangpil immediately becomes serious and tells her that no matter what happens, she should not accept it. He reminds her that she has no idea how much she suffered because of Junho. Hongju quietly agrees. On the other side, Young returns home and sees a message from his mother asking him to come back, but he ignores it and lies sadly on the sofa. At the same time, Hongju comes home and pauses downstairs, wondering if Young hasn't returned yet. She thinks about how much she wanted to talk to Hyeji, but for today, she chose to leave Young to her. Feeling lonely and sad, she goes inside her house. She takes out a box from under her bed and pulls out a notebook filled with Junho's newspaper cutouts and articles. Looking at it, she remembers her job interview from the past. Back then, her boss had liked her proposal, but after checking her resume, said she had no skills or qualifications. Hongju had replied honestly that it was her very first proposal, made with a lot of effort, and that her dream was to make animated films that would make herself and others happy. She promised to work hard and learn everything step by step. Moved by her sincerity, her boss had decided to hire her. The next day, Hongju tells her boss Da that she doesn't want to miss this opportunity after waiting for so long, so she will accept the project and work on the animated film. Finally, we see Young sitting in a taxi with his luggage, ready to leave. His uncle is helping him and asks whether he told her that he's going back. Young replies that they met, exchanged a simple goodbye, and nothing more. With that, Young heads toward the airport, leaving everything unsaid. The scene now shifts to Hyeji at school. Hongju keeps sending her messages about what happened yesterday, but Hyeji doesn't reply to any of them. Her heart is full of mixed emotions. She likes Young, but Young likes Hongju. Confused and troubled, she goes to Mr. Sun and asks him what he would feel if his first love liked his best friend instead. Mr. Sun responds with a light, humorous story and then gently explains that it's actually not a bad thing at all. If someone you care about finds a person who truly loves them, then what's wrong with that? Hearing this, Hiji starts laughing, and her doubts finally clear. She realizes that she shouldn't hold on to such confusing feelings or feel jealous of her own friend. After this, we see Hongju sitting in a taxi, lost in memories of the past. She recalls the time at the military camp, when she had gone there looking for someone. She had asked a guard about him, but the guard told her that the person wasn't there. Saddened, she asked where he had gone, but because of security reasons, they refused to give her any details. The memory continues. Hongju and Young sit together until evening. Young notices that he has 2 missed calls, but he doesn't return them. He tells Hongju that they should leave now, but she insists that they first eat ramyeon. They go to a small shop where the owner warns them that the noodles are very spicy. As soon as Hongju takes a bite, she starts crying, saying it's unbearably spicy. Young tells her to keep quiet and asks if he should add water, but she refuses, saying it would ruin the taste. Young jokingly warns her that she shouldn't confess her feelings, or he'll report that a teenager is dating a soldier. Hearing this, Hongju hits him on the head with a spoon and cries even more. The shop owner hands her tissues, trying to calm her down. Young urges her to eat quickly, saying they'll miss the last bus. Hongju then says firmly that no matter what happens that day, she must confess her feelings. She has to say them out loud. To calm her, Young tells her that they'll go and ask again. So they return to the camp and insistently question the guard once more. After much persuasion, the guard finally reveals the truth. The unit was sent to the mountains due to an emergency, and they will be gone for 6 months. No one will be able to contact them during that time. Hearing this, the gift box. Hongju had been holding slips from her hands and falls to the ground. Young quietly picks up the box and starts walking ahead, while Hongju follows behind him slowly. He tells her to walk faster or they'll miss the bus, and softly adds that if that person already knew he was going to such a dangerous place, then he should have at least written her a letter. At that exact moment, their bus passes by them. They start running after it, but Hongju stumbles and falls. Young rushes to help her up, and because of this, they completely miss the bus. Hongju panics and shouts, asking what they'll do now, saying she doesn't want to sleep there with him. Young replies calmly, asking what she's thinking. They'll obviously take separate rooms. The story then returns to the present, where Young is sitting in a taxi, lost in thought. Just then, Hiji calls him. Hiji calls Young and urgently tells him that Hongju has met with an accident. Because there's an emergency at school, she can't leave and asks him to go to the hospital instead. The moment Young hears this, he tells the taxi driver to turn toward the hospital and rushes inside. There he finds Hongju lying unconscious, with visible injuries on her aunt's head and leg. The story then shifts into Hongju's childhood memories. Her stepfather coldly tells her mother that since she is pregnant, they should either leave Hongju with her real father or send her to an orphanage. Little Hongju hears everything but pretends not to. She sits quietly in front of the TV, forcing a smile as if nothing hurts her. Another memory follows from her school days. Hongju has a very high fever. The school doctor advises her to go home, but she lies down in the infirmary instead, saying it's better than going home. Her condition worsens, and she weakly asks a teacher for water. At that moment, someone resting on the nearby bed gets up and gives her water. His face isn't shown, but it's strongly implied that it was Young. Back in the present, Hongju regains consciousness and sees Young holding her hand. He tells her that she was brought to the hospital after an accident. She immediately pulls her hand away and tells him that he can leave. She doesn't want to trouble him. Young gently places her hand on his chest, letting her feel his heartbeat, and asks her if she still believes that everything between them is meaningless. Confused, Hongju looks at him, unable to respond. Just then, the doctor enters Confrontation and takes Hongju away for a CT scan. As she's being wheeled out, Hongju wonders how Young could be so cold to her just yesterday and now look so full of regret. She scolds herself, reminding herself that she is Hyeji's best friend and shouldn't be thinking this way. The scene then cuts to Hyeji. As soon as her class ends, she rushes to her father and asks for permission to visit Hongju at the hospital. Shocked, he says he'll come along, but Hyeji insists that he stay behind and cover her class. At that moment, Sun Az arrives, and her father asks him to drive Hyeji to the hospital. She initially refuses, but once outside, Sun shows up with his car and they leave together. As Hyeji gets out of the car at the hospital, she nearly slips because of her high heels. But Sun quickly catches her. She thanks him, saying he saved her again. Sun then opens his car and takes out a pair of comfortable shoes, helping her put them on and saying she'll feel better this way. Touched by his thoughtfulness, Hiji smiles brightly. Meanwhile, Uncle Wook also arrives at the hospital. Young had rushed out of the taxi in panic and left his luggage behind, which is why his uncle followed him there. Hongju starts wondering why Young came running to the hospital in such a hurry. Soon, Hongju and Hiji meet him at the hospital. After the CT scan, Young helps Hongju walk. She tells him that because of how he behaved yesterday, he really didn't need to do all this. She says she has already forgiven him and thanks him sincerely for coming to take care of her at the hospital. Hearing her words, Young smiles quietly, his emotions finally softening. When Uncle Wook arrives with Young's luggage, he's told about Hongju's accident. He nods and says that although Hongju doesn't like hospital staff calling guardians, they are her guardians too. So it's only right they're there. Hiji, watching everything carefully, asks Uncle Wook if he already knew that Young likes Hongju. Uncle admits that he has only just realized how serious Young's feelings are, because he has never seen Young behave so recklessly before. Hearing this, Hiji half-jokingly asks if he's on her side, clearly worried about where she stands. The scene returns to Hongju and Young. Hongju is now wearing a neck brace, and because of her frequent fractured leg, she has a plaster cast and must walk with crutches. Inside the elevator, Hongju asks about Hiji. Before Young can answer, several people crowd into the elevator, forcing the two of them to stand uncomfortably close. Flustered, Hongju mutters that this is crazy. Young can't help but smile at her reaction. Once they step out, Hongju pulls him aside and says firmly, "Don't flirt with me." She explains that since he lives in the US, he might be used to such behavior, but she's a conservative person and feels uncomfortable. Young is stunned. His genuine feelings being mistaken for flirting hits him hard. Before he can explain, Hongju notices Hiji and rushes toward her in tears. Hiji, shocked by her condition, says she seems seriously hurt. Hongju starts complaining about why she came so late and recounts the accident, how a car was speeding, she tried to overtake it, failed, and ended up injured. While they talk, Uncle Wook joins them. Noticing Young's luggage, he asks why Young left it behind. With an awkward face, Young replies, "I was busy flirting." Outside the hospital, everyone gathers near the cars. Hongju asks Hiji about Hum yesterday. Curious how her day with Young went, Hiji hesitates, unsure how to confess that Young actually likes Hongju. Then she glances at Sun and suddenly gets an idea. Calling Sun over, Hiji tells Hongju that she is the dating Sun, and that Young was only her first love. Playing along perfectly, Sun loudly declares that he's truly dating Hiji, that he has liked her for a long time, and that he even went on a blind date to hide it. He apologizes to Hongju for the misunderstanding. Hiji adds that she wanted to explain everything yesterday, but Hongju left suddenly, so she told everything to Young instead. Hongju suggests talking while walking, but Hiji quickly says that would be inconvenient with her injured leg. She proposes that Hongju go with Young instead, since he's heading home anyway. She also instructs Young not to let Hongju climb stairs, reminds him that he has plenty of rooms, and suggests he let Hongju stay with him for now. Uncle Wook immediately agrees. Hiji then turns to Uncle Wook and says he has to go to the office anyway, so they'll drop him off first. At first he refuses, but once he realizes that everyone is deliberately trying to leave Hongju and Young alone together, he goes along with it. Watching all of this unfold, Young smiles, amused at how carefully everyone is arranging things to bring him and Hongju closer. Hongju, however, is completely confused by everyone's sudden behavior, but with no other choice, she ends up getting into Young's car with him. Inside the car, Hongju pretends to be asleep, hoping to avoid talking to Young. But just then, her boss calls, forcing her to answer. The scene cuts to Hiji and Uncle Wook. Hiji admits that she is not actually dating Sun. Uncle Wook is surprised and says Sun acted so convincingly that even he believed it. The truth is that Sun genuinely likes Hiji, but has never been able to confess. When Uncle asks why he played along, Sun explains that he once went on a blind date with Hongju, and to avoid any misunderstanding for Young, he pretended to be dating Hiji. Back in the car, after ending the call, Hongju explains that she had an important meeting today, but because of the accident, she couldn't attend. None of her colleagues could reach her, so they became worried. Young teases her, asking whether she still bunks school like before. She admits that she does. This leads him to remind her of the time they went to Amusement, when they ended up spending the night there. They both recall that night, how they missed the bus and kept arguing. Hongju had suggested taking a shortcut from the main road to reach the bus terminal. While walking, something got into Young's shoe. When he stopped to fix it, he slipped and fell into a muddy water pit. When Hongju turns around and doesn't see him, she panics and calls out. Hearing his voice, she runs back and finds him stuck in the water. Young asks for help. At first, Hongju bursts out laughing. Unable to control herself, then starts searching for something to pull him out. Meanwhile, Young checks his phone. It's ruined by the water. He then takes out a photo he had kept in his pocket, one he'd torn from the school notice board. Hongju is in that photo. Looking at it, he mutters that from now on, he will never get involved with her again, and slips the photo back into his shirt pocket. Suddenly, he hears frog sounds and becomes frightened. He urgently calls out to Hongju, begging her not to leave him alone. She agrees. After a while, we see Hongju jump into the water pit as well. Young scolds her, asking if she even thought about how she could pull him out using just grass. He calls her an idiot, then quickly adds that he didn't mean it. He asks how she could jump down Ryu without even bringing her phone. Hongju tries to pull him up using the grass, but it snaps. Young slips back, hits his head, and completely submerges in the water. He doesn't respond when she calls his name, which terrifies Hongju. In panic, she dives in after him, holding him. She says that they're together now anyway, so it's fine. She then admits that earlier, a frog came near her ear and scared her badly. Young scoffs, asking who could be afraid of frogs. Just then, a frog suddenly jumps out of the water. Young shrieks in fear and instinctively hugs Hongju tightly, then awkwardly pulls away. Back in the present, remembering all this, Hongju is laughing a lot. Young says, "It seems like you remember everything." Hongju replies, "You were going somewhere else at that time, right?" He tells her that he was going to Seoul University for an interview. Hongju says that she had almost forgotten all this because she forgets bad memories quickly. Young asks, "Was this a bad memory for you?" Hongju says that everything related to Junho is a bad memory. Young replies, "These were our memories, so where did Junho come from?" Hearing this, she says nothing. Then they reach home. Young gets out of the car and tries to help her, but Hongju says that she can manage on her own. As she moves forward, she is about to fall, but Young catches her and saves her. He tells her, "As long as I am with you, let me help you." But she says, No, I'm fine, and I will bring you a fried chicken voucher." Now she stubbornly starts trying to climb the stairs to go to her home. Young tells her, "I can carry you up on my piggyback," but she refuses. Then he says, "Should I pick you up and take you?" As soon as she hears this, she is about to fall again. But Young supports her from behind and catches her, and she says, "Nice catch." Now he picks her up and brings her inside her house and lays her on the bed. Young asks her to give him the prescription, but she is refusing, saying that she will bring the medicine tomorrow. But he forcefully takes the prescription. Meanwhile, a card slips out of her bag and falls right there. On the other side, Hiji, Sun, and Uncle are eating inside Sangpil's shop, where he asks, "What kind of combination is this?" Hiji and Hongju's landlord have come here, and he asks them about Sun, asking, "Who is he?" Then Sun introduces himself. At that moment, he says that he is acting as Hyeji's fake boyfriend and was also Hongju's blind date. Then Hyeji also tells them that Uncle Wook is not only Hongju's landlord, but also Hongju's uncle. Hearing this, they say that their faces don't even look alike, but Uncle tells them to look carefully, so they look again and say that he does look like her, but like Young's mom. Then he says, "What kind of melodrama is this?" After high school, they were neighbors too. Then Hyeji says, "Does that mean you already knew that he liked Hongju? Why didn't you tell her?" To this he says, "How could I tell her? He trusted me and told me himself. And anyone, even a blind person, could tell who he likes, but you never paid attention. And anyway, nothing was ever going to happen between you and Young." Hearing this, Uncle gets shocked and asks, "Was Young your first love?" Hyeji says yes, and everyone knew this, but now there is nothing like that. Everything is clear. The scene comes back to Hongju. When she wakes up, Young is standing in front of her. He asks her, "What's for dinner?" Then he comes close to her, calls her you, turns off the lights, and is about to kiss her. But actually, all of this was Hongju's dream. In the dream, she was making a pout to kiss him. She realizes what she is doing and, feeling embarrassed, says, "Hey, evil spirit, go away from here." Now she feels that staying here is not right, so she starts trying to go upstairs with her luggage again. But going upstairs is very difficult for her, so she thinks that this time she will crawl. Just then, Young comes there and tells her, "You will never listen, right?" So he himself picks her up in his arms and drops her upstairs. He gives her the porridge and medicine that he brought for her to eat. For all this, Hong thanks him and says, "You are a very good person. Maybe the memories I have of you in my mind are quite bad, and if Hyeji were here, I would have completely forgotten you. But if we look at it, both of us became friends because we met each other because of Hyeji." Hearing this, Young tells her to rest now and to call him after waking up tomorrow, and then leaves. Seeing this, Hong says, "Did he get angry? But I should have thought before flirting with him. I crossed the line, right?" Then she remembers her kissing dream again and says again, "Evil spirit, take yourself away from me. I don't know why I am thinking all this." On the other side, when Young is alone in his room, he is thinking about her words and says, "I don't know how many more times she will reject me even before I confess my love." At that moment, he gets a call from his friend in the US who tells him, "You should have been on the plane by now, so why haven't you come back yet?" Just then, Young's eyes fall on the card that had fallen down. On it, Hongju's company name is written, and that she is a producer in an animation company. Seeing this, he starts smiling and tells his friend, "I am not coming back right now," and hangs up. Then, the scene comes to Junho, who was sitting at home watching an animated movie. Then he remembers when, after winning an award, it was his first interview. Hong had come there to support him, but during the interview, she was sleeping the whole time because she had to work all night. Seeing this, Junho answers the interview questions while smiling and tells them that, "Because of my very first fan's help, I was able to write better books, and I am very happy that because of her feedback, I could do this." After the interview, when he goes to Hongju, she is completely asleep. Then the interviewer comes and asks him, "Are you dating someone?" Hearing this, he smiles, looks at Hongju, and says, "Earlier I wasn't, but now I am." Then at Junho's house, one of his friends comes and asks, "Did Hong come to the meeting or not?" But he denies it. Hearing this, Junho becomes sad and says, "Does she really not want to work with me?" His friend says, "Why didn't you tell her the truth? If you had told her, both of you would still be together." But he says, "What could I have told her? That because of anxiety I wasn't able to write anything, and because the contract broke, I didn't even have money." His friend says, "People who love each other stay together in any situation." But Junho says that he didn't want Hongju to face all this with him. Then his friend says that Hongju is going to work as a producer in your movie. Hearing this, he becomes happy and says, "I knew she would definitely accept this work, because she joined an animation company for me. Now I will make everything like before." Saying this, he becomes very happy. The scene returns to Young, who notices the card and recalls a flashback. Hongju suggests playing Truth or Dare since they can't sleep, with a rule. If someone's secret is boring or makes the other sleepy, they get a finger flick. Hong starts and says, "My Junho is very handsome." Young flicks her on the head, saying, "It's boring and making me sleepy." It's Young's turn. He admits he got one question wrong on a math paper. Hongju is shocked and shares that she came last in school for English after choosing the second option for all questions, even talking to the teacher about it. Young is speechless and jokingly asks her to give him the punishment, thinking nothing could top that. On her insistence, he reveals his dream, to become an animation director, which no one knows about, though he can't pursue it yet. Hongju responds that she loves animated movies too, and will help him fulfill his dream, saying, "I'll have a dream too." Young warns, it won't be easy, but she insists that no work is easy, and promises to give him 5% of her salary once she becomes a director. The next morning, Hongju chats with Hiji and Sangpil about how she's feeling after only eating porridge yesterday. Hiji adds Young to the group. Reading the message while cooking for her, Young tells her to come downstairs. She hesitates, so he comes upstairs instead, prompting her to hurry down. He serves her food and asks if it tastes good. She confirms, "It's fine and not too salty." Young remembers asking Sangpil about her food preferences. After the meal, he offers dessert. She initially refuses, but agrees when he mentions tiramisu. Hiji had told him it's her favorite. Hiji also shared details about Hongju's ex, who left her without notice, causing a painful breakup. Hongju jokingly asks about Young's progress with Hiji, and he says that for now, he's just her school friend. As Hongju prepares to leave after dessert, Young stops her and shows the business card, asking, "When'll I get 5% of your salary?" Hongju recalls the past pit incident and makes excuses, saying her brain wasn't working after falling in the water. Young laughs, teasing her for admitting it. Hongju gets flustered, pointing out how hard she's worked to reach this point. Unsure if she'll become a director, but soon set to work as a movie producer. She then asks if he'd like to watch an animated movie she helped produce. When he agrees, she heads upstairs to fetch the laptop, refusing his help. Just then, Junho comes there because he had gone to the company and found out that Hongju is on leave. He tells her, "I heard that because of your accident, the meeting got delayed." But seeing her with Young, he says, "I am seeing something else here. Is this your attitude towards work? It seems I will have to think again about working with you." On this, Young was about to say something, but Hongju stops him, and herself goes to Junho and says, "Sorry that because of me your work is getting delayed, but if you are in such a hurry, then remove me from this." Junho says, "Why are you behaving like this with me? You had said that no matter what happens, you will always love me." But she says, "Now I have changed." Saying this, she is about to leave, when Junho holds her hand, but she pulls her hand away and tells him, "If you grab my hand again, I will slap you, and you know why I am doing all this." Saying this, she starts going upstairs with her injured leg. Seeing this behavior, Junho steps aside and leaves. As soon as Hongju reaches upstairs, because of the pain she sits outside after opening the door and starts crying. Then Young also comes there and sits beside her. He tells her, "Why did you need to act so tough? It must be hurting a lot now, right?" She says, "Yes, it is hurting a lot, and I am also very embarrassed that you are witnessing such bad moments of my relationship." He says, "I am actually very happy seeing your failed romance. Right now it feels just like when both of us fell into that pit together." But she tells him not to talk about all these things again, because she wants to forget the past. Then he puts his hand on her shoulder and tells her, "Recover quickly from your leg injury, as well as from your broken heart." Saying this, he kisses her. Then we are shown Young, who says, "Memories are unstable because they remain only with one person." After that, we again see the scene of them falling into the pit, in which Young was feeling very sleepy and suddenly rests his head on Hongju's shoulder and falls asleep, because of which her heartbeat becomes very fast. She says that maybe this happened suddenly because of the fall, but did Hongju also feel something for Young? This we will find out later. It will be revealed in the episode itself. In the beginning, we see a scene from the year 2013 from their high school days, when Young was standing at a bus stop, and at the bus stop opposite him, Hongju was sitting. Seeing her, he becomes very happy, and he had also brought something for her, looking at which he was smiling. Just then, he gets a call from his mom, who tells him that they are going to the US. Hearing this, Young gets shocked and asks, "What about my school?" She says, "You can do your schooling there. And anyway, you know that I don't change my decisions." She tells him to come home now and hangs up the phone. Now he sadly looks toward Hongju. Just then, Hongju also notices him. She had a paper in her hand, and seeing him, she gets very excited and says, "Stay right there, I'm coming." She starts waiting at the red light to cross the road. Meanwhile, Young's bus arrives there, so he gets on it and leaves. Now the scene comes back to the present, where Young tells Hongju that he is actually very happy that her relationship failed. He tells her to recover quickly from her leg injury and also from her heartbreak, and saying this, he kisses her. At that moment, Hongju also closes her eyes, but at the same time her phone rings. She comes to her senses, pushes him away and says, "Don't play such pranks with me again." To this, Young says that he was not playing any prank. "I like you even now, and I liked you 10 years ago as well." Hearing this, Hongju gets shocked. Young then tells her to breathe. After taking a breath, she says that there was nothing between them, and there never will be, and that they are just friends. Young says, "We just kissed, so how can we be just friends?" He tells her to think about this calmly and leaves. After this, we see Hiji, who is thinking about Hongju, wondering whether she is spending a good time with Young. Just then, she sees Sang running, and she smiles while admiring him. But as soon as he notices her, he starts running away. Seeing this behavior, Hiji thinks that maybe he didn't notice her, and she also had to return his shoes, so she starts following him. Now she sees him coming out of the vice principal's office, that is, her dad's office. As soon as he sees her, he says that he has some work and starts running again, but Hiji still keeps following him. He runs and hides inside a room. Hiji comes there too, but she doesn't find him because he was actually hiding behind a bed. Not seeing him, Hiji leaves from there. After this, we see Sang Pil peeling onions in his restaurant. Just then, Hongju comes there, and seeing her suddenly, he gets shocked. Hongju says, "Bring goggles for me too. I'll also peel onions. I have nothing else to do." He tries to refuse, but she doesn't listen. Now we see both of them peeling onions together, where Hongju, while thinking, peels the onion so much that it becomes only half. Seeing this, Sang Pil scolds her. She says she will do it properly now, and then starts asking him why he has never dated anyone. Sang Pil says that since high school, he told her many times to introduce him to someone, but neither of them did. And now, until his restaurant gets settled, he is not going to date anyone. Hearing this, she asks him whether he likes someone. Hearing this, he tells her to bring more onions to peel. He brings a lot of onions, which she looks at angrily. Then we see Uncle Wook, who sees a red car parked in front of his office. He says that he has told this lady many times not to park here. Now he calls Hongju's boss, Miss Baek. Just then, Miss Baek comes from the front with her employees. Uncle Wook says that I have told you 1,000 times not to park your car here. Miss Baek starts arguing that you haven't told me 1,000 times. And anyway, I didn't park in front of your building, but in front of the other building. Hearing this, Uncle Wook looks frustrated and wonders since when this place became the front owner's property. Meanwhile, the employees standing there start gossiping among themselves that 3 years ago, Miss Beck wanted to buy the building, but Uncle Wook came and bought this place. And our boss is very revengeful, so she deliberately parks her car here to trouble Uncle Wook. Uncle Wook then says to her, "Could it be that you had a crush on me? That's why you do this?" Hearing this, She starts laughing and says it's not about you. Earlier, you were young and cute, but now not at all. Saying this, she leaves. Uncle Wook shouts from behind that you are not my first love. After this, we see Young washing dishes and feeling very happy while remembering the kissing moment. Just then, Uncle Wook comes there annoyed and asks why he is so happy. He tells him that he had requested the headquarters to let him stay here, but they refused, so he should go to the US once and get a transfer. Young asks how much time this process takes. Uncle says 1 or 2 months. Hearing this, Young refuses and says that then he is not going back. Uncle asks, will you leave the job then? Do you think this is worth it for your first love? Why are you doing all this for Hongju? Whether you two will even end up together or not is not even confirmed yet. He then shouts that, do you think only you had a first love? I had one too. Saying this, he goes to his room. Seeing him like this, Young gets shocked, wondering what happened to him. Then we again see Hiji, who somehow catches Sang and talks to him outside. Sang says that the vice principal had called him to talk. That's why he was busy. Hiji asks why her dad called him. He is about to say something but stops and looks very tense. Then he says that he wants them to go hiking in the mountains. She asks whether he doesn't get bored going there and says that sometimes he should refuse them too. Then she asks him whether he is free tomorrow and says that she will take him out for lunch because he helped her. He refuses, but since both of them are free in the afternoon, she says that if you are free, then tomorrow you are mine, and leaves. Seeing this, his face becomes a little tense. Then we see Song-pil, and Hongju is still at his restaurant, so he tells Young about it. Hearing this, Young happily leaves home to go there. As soon as Hongju finds out that Young is coming, she shouts at Song-pil, asking why he called him. Then she gets up without finishing her food and quickly leaves. When Young arrives there, Sang-pil tells him that she left as soon as she heard his name. Hearing this, Young becomes sad. Seeing his situation, Sang-pil says that now it's my time. Hongju waits at the bus stop, recalling the old days when Young stood at the opposite stop and she would watch him from afar. She quickly scolds herself for thinking so much. On the bus, she sits down as Junho repeatedly calls, but she ignores him. He messages her, asking if her feelings have changed and why she lied about always staying with him. Drunk and sad, Junho is surrounded by Hongju's old love letters, one of which says, "The color of my love is black, which never changes." Holding it, he cries, asking how it could ever change. He threatens to remove her from the project if she doesn't answer, but she ignores him, thinking that breakups are part of relationships. She then remembers crossing the road to reach Young once, only to find he had already left. The next day at school, Hongju learns that Young has gone to the US. Saddened, she accidentally drops her career plan paper, which details her dream of becoming an animation director, a plan she had wanted to show Young. The following morning, while meditating, Sang-pil arrives outside her house, loudly urging her to go on a trip with him. She protests, citing her current state, but sees the car waiting with all the luggage packed. Sang-pil insists, saying that in the past 10 years, she's only gone between home, work, and his restaurant, and this is a rare opportunity. Hongju tries to explain the awkward situation with Young, but Sang-pil wants to tell him anyway. Hongju stops him with a smile reminiscent of Young. On the way, Young and Hongju sit in the back seat. Uncle Wook reclines his seat, allowing Young to sit closer to Hongju, which makes Sang-pil smile. They stop briefly to buy something, and Hongju mentions she'll join him, but he doesn't wait. Young comes to help her, and they talk alone outside. Hongju suggests pretending nothing happened yesterday, noting how awkward the situation is. Young says he likes it this way, because at this moment, he's constantly on her mind. Hongju washes her face in the restroom, resolves to ignore him, and emerges smiling. Later, she tells Sang-pil she'll drive. He agrees, but Young insists on driving, so she happily takes the back seat, though Uncle Wook sits there instead, forcing her to sit up front with Young. Sang-pil and Uncle sleep in the back while Young drive. During the ride, Young asks her to feed him walnut cake, but she refuses, claiming it's the last piece. He eats it himself. They discuss whether such treats are available in the US. Young says no, and she insists they enjoy them before he leaves. Hongju marvels at the view outside, waking Uncle Wook and Sang-pil, noting they're almost there. Upon reaching the homestay, they unload luggage. Sang-pil and Uncle Wook go fishing, while Young unpacks items. Hongju urges him to join them, and when she reaches for something in the basket, he grabs her hand, asking her to go together. She pulls away, goes inside, and calls Hiji, asking her to come quickly. Hiji asks about her relationship with Young, and Hongju teasingly says she hates him. Hiji senses otherwise and mentions she's coming with Sun. After this, we see Sun talking to Hiji's dad, where he is refusing him about something. But he doesn't listen and tells him that he will send him photos. Then Hiji and Sun, they are both traveling in the car, where Sun keeps looking at Hiji again and again. Then Hiji says that this is the first time, right, that we are going out alone somewhere. At the same moment, she receives a message from her sister, who tells her that she is not coming back today, and she asks Hiji for Sun's photo, because the two of them were going to meet on a blind date. Hearing this, Hiji becomes sad, and says that right now she doesn't have his photo. And saying this, she cuts the call. Then she tells Sun that if he has any good photo, he should send it to her so she can send it to her sister, since the two of them are going on a blind date, right? Hearing this, Sun is about to say something, but just then she turns on the music, so the poor guy stays quiet and starts driving. On the other side, Hongju and Young both reach the fishing spot. Sang-pil still hasn't caught a single fish, so he takes Young with him to the other side to fish. Hongju is sitting there with Uncle Wook. Young catches a fish very quickly there, seeing which Sang-pil gets surprised and asks how he caught it. Young tells him that he had a client who used to fish a lot, and maybe by watching him, he also learned it. Sang-pil praises him, saying that anyway, you are good at everything, but Young tells him that his mother never believes in him and never gives him a chance to do anything. Whatever she plans, he always has to follow it. Here, we see Junho's manager talking to Miss Baek. He is telling her to change the project producer and says that Hongju and Junho will never be able to work well together. He remembers how, when he went to Junho's house, Junho was drunk and lying on the floor. He didn't want Junho to suffer even more because of Hongju. But Miss Baek tells him that Hongju and Junho are the only two people who understand this book properly, so they will be able to work well together. And as for Hongju, she is a very professional girl who can completely separate her professional and private life. Miss Baek now calls Hongju and tells her that she has to go and work in Junho's studio for 1 month. When Hongju asks the reason, she says that she needs the script quickly because you are a professional producer, and then she cuts the call. Hongju gets very annoyed and says that she is not a professional. After some time, when Sang-pil sees that Hongju is near the beach, he calls out to her that the tide is about to start, so she should come back, but she can't hear him. Seeing this, Young runs to her. She is trying to take out a sea cucumber from the water, but because of losing her balance, she was about to fall when Young saves her, so she tells him to take it out for her. At first, he refuses, but on Hongju's insistence, he takes it out. In this way, till evening, both of them collect seashells and many other things inside Hongju's cap. In the end, they find an octopus. When both of them are trying to take it out, Hongju accidentally falls on top of Young. In this moment, both of them are looking at each other. Then she puts her hand on Young's mouth so that he doesn't kiss her again. When she gets up and looks, all the things they had collected inside the cap fall down. Seeing this, Young shouts at her that all his hard work is ruined. He tells her to catch everything again, but she runs away from there. When they return, by then Hiji and Soon have also arrived there. Hiji is very angry and is crushing garlic forcefully. Seeing her like this, Hongju takes her aside to talk. Sang-pil says that the last time she was in such a condition was when her ex cheated on her. Saying this, he starts looking towards Sun, but Sun apologizes to everyone because he realizes that he himself is the reason Hiji's mood got so bad. Then they all focus on cooking food. Hiji now directly tells Hongju that she and Sun are not a real couple. She says that she told her all that only so that she would consider Young, because she likes him more and wants Hongju to be happy. Hongju happily asks her what the matter is. Then Hiji reminds her and tells her that in the car, she had asked Sun whether he wanted to go on a blind date with her sister, to which he had refused. From this, she understood that he was only going with her sister because of his dad's pressure. Now she stops the car and talks to him. Hiji asks him, "So will you date me?" Hearing this, he gets very shocked. She says that she also knows that somewhere he likes her, but he directly refuses her and says that he has never thought anything like that. Because of this, her entire mood gets spoiled. She says that he dumped her. Hearing this, Hongju tells her that then don't go after him. But Hiji says that she will try properly at least once because she is fully sure that somewhere he also likes her, and she doesn't want to have any regrets in the future. Because of Sun, she is feeling so good right now. Otherwise, she would have been coming between Hongju and Young's love. Now people don't matter that much to her. She just wants a good person. Hearing this, Hongju also starts thinking. When they all come back, everyone is sitting at the dinner table. Hiji comes and sits next to Sun, and Hongju comes and sits next to Young. Before eating, they all click photos together and enjoy their meal very nicely. From here, we are shown a scene from Hongju's childhood, where she is smiling while watching cartoons. Just then, her mom comes out with luggage and tells her to stay at home. Hongju asks if she can't come along, but her mom refuses and leaves. When Hongju comes out crying to look for her, she sees that her mom has already gone. Then her aunt also comes out with her luggage. Hongju runs after her, but while running, she falls down. Still, her aunt doesn't stop for her and leaves. Then we are shown the scene of Junho leaving, when Hongju comes to the airport to stop him, but he doesn't stop. She angrily tells him that from now on, don't even come into my dreams. Then she sees Young there as well, coming with his luggage. He tells her that if you're not stopping me, then should I really go back? She thinks that what is he doing in her dream? Then she wakes up. She looks around the house and sees no one there. On the other side, we see all four of them in the car, returning somewhere. Then Uncle Wook receives a call from Young's mom. She says something that shocks him, and he tells Sun to quickly return to Seoul. After some time at home, Young brings breakfast. Hongju asks him where everyone else has gone. He tells her that they have left, and since they have time, they will have breakfast and then leave. While he is setting the breakfast on the table, Hongju remembers her dream and says that she doesn't want him to go to the US. He tells her that he is not going. Hongju tells him not to forget this, and then she comes close and kisses him. In return, he also kisses her passionately. From here, we are again shown Junho's scene from the time he was leaving Hongju. She was shouting to stop him, but while crying, he was saying in his heart that he will come back after writing a good novel, so she should wait for him. After kissing Young, Hongju steps back, and Young tells her that now she can't back off. Hongju says that she is not backing off. She just needs a little time to adapt to all this, because they haven't met again after a long time. And earlier also, they were not this close. Hearing this, Young smiles and says okay. Then he takes her out for lunch. There, at first, both of them keep looking at each other. Hongju tells him not to look at her like that, and says that her food won't digest. Hearing this, Young says that it's okay. You can look at me, I should also get used to it. Then they eat their food. Meanwhile, Uncle Wook keeps calling, but Young doesn't pick up his call. In the evening, both of them return home. While they are still in the car, Young says that he is Hongjuri, but Hongju is not Hongjuri. She says that she will send him the names of good restaurants so he can have dinner. Saying this, she is about to leave, but he stops her and says that don't you think I'm Hongjuri because I want to have dinner with you? In this moment, he comes very close to her, but just then, Uncle Wook arrives, who feels that they are about to kiss, and tells them to continue. Then Young comes inside the house. Uncle Wook follows him and says that it seems your wish has come true, and asks whether he is really resigning. Young says yes. Saying this, he goes to take a shower. Then Uncle tells him that his mom had called and asked him about this, but since Uncle himself didn't know about it, his mom said that fine, then I will handle everything myself. Young then tells Uncle that he was right, that he likes Hongju too much. That's why he doesn't want to go back to the US. Uncle says that, who are you? You can't be my nephew, because his mind was always filled with numbers, and he always only thought about work. Hearing this, Young gives him an angry look. Then Uncle tells him that after what his mom has handled after being with his dad, and managing him in this rock asset company, do you think she will let you do this? You must go to the US once and talk. But Young doesn't agree and sprays water on him to push him out of the bathroom. He just tells him not to tell Hongju about this matter. After this, Young talks to Joseph on a video call. Joseph asks him how he can be so happy leaving his client and why he resigned. Young says that he wants to stay here. And anyway, if you want to do something there, I will definitely invest in you. Then he says that I am 100% sure that your mom will bring you back, so at that time I will organize a welcome party for you. Saying this, he cuts the call. Young says that everyone just wants to know what his mom is going to do. Now he calls Hongju and asks if she is sleeping. She says no. He tells her that he is coming upstairs because he wants to see her. But when she looks at her condition, she says no, don't come. I'm already sleeping and very tired. Poor Young was already coming up the stairs. Hearing this, he stops and asks her whether he ever told her that he likes her. Hearing this, she starts smiling and says yes. Then he confesses his love again. Hearing this, she becomes very shy and says bye and cuts the call. The next morning, when Uncle wakes up, he sees Young working and asks whether he didn't sleep all night. Young says no, he couldn't sleep. Uncle says that either you are very stressed or very excited. Young starts smiling. Seeing this, Uncle says that for the first time, seeing you makes me feel so single. Then he tells him to call Hongju downstairs for breakfast as well. Young calls her, but Hongju says that she can't come because she is out shopping with Hiji. Saying this, she cuts the call. From here, we see Hongju and Hiji together going shopping. Hiji tells her that today, she will stay with her the entire day. Hongju agrees. Hiji is getting her hair curled, and Hongju is sitting and watching her. Meanwhile, poor Young keeps checking his phone again and again, thinking that Hongju doesn't talk to her boyfriend that much. And in this, both of us are similar. Then he calls her and asks when she will be free. She says that she won't be free today. From behind, Hiji also shouts and says that today, Hongju should stay only with me. That's why Hongju now tells him that we will meet tomorrow. And saying this, she hangs up the phone. Seeing this, he says that those two have been together for 10 years anyway. In the evening, we see both of them enjoying themselves at Sungpil's restaurant, where both of them are getting their hair curled and are very happy and enjoying a lot. Seeing them like this, the other customers also start laughing. Sungpil gets shocked seeing all this and says that 2 dogs have entered my restaurant. Then he tells them not to make too much noise because there are other people there as well, and asks why they didn't call Young. Hiji says not to call him today because it's girls' night. Then his eyes fall on the shopping bags there, and he says, yeah, that's clearly visible. Now, when Young is standing outside the house waiting for Hongju, Hongju comes there bringing Uncle Wook along with her, who is completely drunk. She tells Young that she met Uncle outside, so she brought him along. Uncle Wook keeps shouting again and again, saying that I want to know why she did this to me. Hongju tries to stop him, but he calls Miss Beck, puts the phone on speaker, and shouts at her. Miss Beck says, "Don't you have any other work to do?" He asks her. "I am your first love, right?" But she refuses. Then he asks, "Why did you break up with me after all?" Miss Bayek asks if there is someone with you right now. Hearing this, Hongju takes the phone from him. Miss Bayek says that he is very drunk, so take him home. After hanging up the phone, Hongju starts thinking that the lady's voice sounded somewhat similar. Uncle Wook becomes very sad here and says that everything was so good, then why did she break up with me 20 years ago? Seeing him like this, Young puts him on his back and starts taking him inside. But Uncle Wook tells Hongju that I told you, didn't I? That first love is like a frozen dessert. Now forget Junho. Everything between you and him is over. And look at my nephew. Think about him. What a lovely boy he is. Just as he is about to talk about his mom, Young drops him down. Hongju also remembers and thinks, oh no, did my hair get messed up? Now she goes near the car and starts fixing her hair. Then Young says to her, you got your hair curled to show me, right? You look very nice. Now the next day, both of them are trying different clothes separately to go on their first official date. On the other side, Hiji happily gets ready for trekking and comes in front of her dad. Hiji asks him, aren't you going for trekking today? You go every Sunday, right? He tells her that today's son is not feeling well, so I'm not going. Hearing this, the poor girl's entire mood gets spoiled. Now her dad starts saying that Mr. Sun is going to become my son-in-law and will always stay with me just like my own son. Hearing this, she smiles. Then her dad says that when your sister comes back, we will invite Mr. Sun for dinner one day. Hiji shyly tells her dad that I am also here, and I am close to Mr. Sun. Hearing this, her dad starts laughing and says, you and Mr. Sun together, don't say anything like that. You don't need to be jealous like this. She says that she is not jealous. She is telling the truth, but he doesn't believe her. Here, as soon as Hongju comes out of the house, Young comes there to pick her up, but then both of them notice the bench where Hiji is sitting. She asks Hongju, where are we going today? Seeing her here, poor Young becomes a little sad that she came again today. Now all three of them go to a cafe. There, Young and Hongju go together to place the order. He talks about Hiji, and Hongju says that she will stay with us. Didn't she tell you that Mr. Soon is not well? Here, Hiji messages Sun asking how he is feeling now and whether he took his medicine. Just then, Hongju and Young come back holding hands with the order. Seeing this, Hiji says, are your hands locked with something? Why aren't you letting go? Young says that he won't let go, and in his mind, he thinks that if we want to distance her, we will have to send her on a date as well. Hongju also gets an idea and tells her, why don't you go and meet Mr. Sun and also take some food for him? Hiji says, but I can't go to meet him wearing these clothes. After some time, we see them in the car, where Hongju has exchanged her clothes with Hiji. On the other side, we see Mr. Sun. As soon as he wakes up from sleep, he sees Hiji's message on his phone. He is about to reply, saying, don't worry, I'm fine, but he isn't able to send it. Meanwhile, his doorbell rings. In the car, Young asks Hongju that she used to be very timid in school. Right? So what happened to her now? Hongju recalls and tells him that after school ended, Hiji found her real self. By changing her dressing sense, she became very confident. Now they plan to continue their date, but before that, Hongju goes home to change back into her own clothes. On the other side, Sun's mom had come to see him. When he comes to drop her till the road, his mom scolds him, saying that you are single, so there is no one to take care of you. Why don't you date? But he refuses, saying that he doesn't want to do all this. Just then, on the road, they meet Hiji. She tells his mom that she came to see Sun because he wasn't well. She introduces herself. Seeing her, his mom becomes very happy and says it's good that you came to see him. Then she starts telling her about her family and asks her many things. Seeing this, Sun quickly calls a cab and hurriedly makes his mom sit in it. His mom says that if possible, keep coming to meet him. But then Sun shouts at her, saying that there is nothing between her and me. Hearing this, his mom becomes sad and leaves after apologizing to Hiji for her behavior. But Hiji also becomes sad because of everything. Sun apologizes to her as well, saying that my mom is a bit old. That's why she talked to you like that. Because of weakness due to fever, Sun is about to fall, but Hiji catches him. However, he pulls his hand away from her. Seeing this, she says that I shouldn't have come here at all. When there is nothing between us, then why? And she leaves sadly. From here, we see Junho, whom Hiji's dad had invited to drink with him. While drinking, Hiji's dad tells him that now, leave Hongju alone. Whatever your reason was for leaving her, you could have told her before going. Either you could have broken up with her or told her to wait for you. But you left without saying anything, which hurt her a lot. That's why now don't try to come back to her. You don't deserve her at all. Here, Young is taking Hongju somewhere. In the car, he asks her what she likes about him. She says she doesn't know. Hearing this, Hongju gets angry. Now Young takes her to an exhibition. Hongju is walking ahead, and Young is behind her. Hongju talks to herself that he doesn't even know the answer to this, so what's the use of him being so smart? Then she turns back, calls his name, and says, "How long will you keep walking so far away from me like this?" He tells her that whenever you call me by my name like that, my heartbeat becomes very fast. I don't know why this happens, but I always waited for you to call me by my name. That's why he used to receive letters again and again in school. Somewhere in between all this, I didn't even realize when I started liking you. And even when he returned from the USA and met Hongju again, his heartbeat became fast. That's when he understood that he still likes her. Now he comes close to her and says that he doesn't know what exactly he likes about her, because she never gave him a chance to come this close to her. Hongju says that you didn't either. Now they were about to happily kiss, but then he gets a call from Uncle, which he cuts. But now Uncle calls Hongju's phone. As soon as she picks it up, he tells her to come back quickly because there is some emergency. So now Young quickly drops Hongju home and says that he has some work to do, so he has to leave. While leaving, Hongju tells him that she will meet him tomorrow. He asks, "What about the day after tomorrow?" She says, "That too." Hearing this, he starts laughing and says that I am going to do the same. As soon as Hongju goes upstairs, she takes out the career plan paper from her belongings and remembers how she also had feelings for Young at that time. But because Hiji was his first love, maybe she had suppressed her feelings. Now his mom had come. He asks her how she came here. She says that just like you, I also came here to relax a bit. Young talks to her about approving his resignation, but she refuses and tells him that you have always listened to me. What happened to you all of a sudden after coming here? Young says that I have always listened to you, but now I want to take my own decisions, no matter how they are. But his mom says that I am very tired right now. We will talk about this tomorrow. And saying this, she goes to her room. The next day, Hongju leaves her house with the script for Junho's book. First, she comes downstairs to meet Young, but he is not there. Then she gets a call from Young. He asks her if she remembers their date tonight. Hongju says yes, and says that we will meet after work. Here, Young's mom tells him to leave, and both of them go towards the office in the car. During this, Young tells his mom that, "See, things haven't changed much here." Then she sees Hongju sitting at the bus stop, and says that it's such a small place where people keep meeting each other again. That's why I don't like it at all. But Young doesn't pay attention to her words. At school, Hiji notices that Mr. Sun hasn't arrived yet. She washes his shoes and places them under his desk. When Sun arrives and sees the shoes, he realizes his big mistake and feels guilty for how he treated Hiji. He approaches her to talk, but nervously says the wrong thing, making Hiji even sadder. She responds, "I understand now that there's nothing between us, so I won't bother you anymore," and leaves before he can explain. Meanwhile, at the office, Uncle Wook instructs his employees not to be nervous, though he himself is anxious because Young's mother is visiting. Upon her arrival, everyone welcomes her warmly. Uncle Wook quietly tells Young not to mention that he renovated the house, warning that his mother won't forgive him if she finds out. The three of them then go inside to talk. Young's mother asks about his house and mentions that she'll stay there a few days and work from the office. Young tells her that if she's doing it for him, she shouldn't. He won't change his decision. She responds that she won't go back to the US alone either. Here, Hongju comes to Junho's studio. While making coffee, Junho looks around the whole house. He had kept the letters given by Hongju under his table so that he could see them, and he had also put up all her photos there. He thinks that now all this will remind him of her, and he keeps aside the medicines he had kept, thinking that he won't need them right now. Now, when he comes and sits in front of her to talk about work, Hongju takes out the script from her bag and gives it to him. He says that, "Why was there such a hurry? We still have a lot of time." But she tells him that she is leaving this project. "If you need any help, you can talk to me on a call." Hearing this, Junho starts feeling very uncomfortable. He is not even able to walk properly and falls down. Seeing him like this, Hongju becomes very worried and asks, "Are you sick?" To this he says, "If I tell you that I was sick and that's why I left you, will you forgive me?" Then we again see the 2023 bus stop scene, where Young's mom is standing near the bus stop and calls him, and she also notices how he was looking at Hongju. As soon as Hongju sees her and crosses the road to come there, he has already left from there. Young's mom comes and asks her, "Is this yours?" When Hongju checks, she finds all her favorite books inside it, but she says, "Who kept this here? This isn't mine." But Young's mom says, "This is for you. I didn't know my son liked such a cute girl." Hongju doesn't understand anything there and leaves the books there and goes away. Later, Junho tearfully explains that he was seriously ill, which is why he left Hongju. He hugs her, admitting he couldn't even write a single word and didn't want her to see his condition, asking if she can forgive him now. Hongju shows no reaction. She quietly gives him water and says she's quitting. Shocked, Junho shouts that he was sick, but Hongju replies that she waited 3 years to hear this, and now it no longer matters. She says his leaving made her blame herself, wondering why everyone abandons her, just like her mother once did. But after meeting him, she realized that regardless of the reason, they chose to leave her. She then tells him she's dating someone else and won't break up and walks away. Elsewhere, Young's mother tells him she won't return to the US alone. Young replies that he won't change his decision and will now live on his own terms. He quits his job and leaves. Meanwhile, Hongju tells her boss she can't work on the project. When asked if Junho caused it, she denies it and says the decision is hers. Ms. Beck then returns Hongju's old proposal about adapting Junho's novel into an anime, saying it's no longer needed. Hongju takes it and throws it into a dustbin outside. Later, Hongju sits outside a store eating snacks. Nearby, some high school students chat about their carefree lives. Watching them, she remarks that this phase is the best and completely stress-free. The students call her a weirdo and try to ignore her. Hongju confronts them, startling them into running away, then sits back and proudly says, "I won." At that moment, Young calls out to her from across the road. She tells him to stay where he is, then runs over, hugs him happily, and complains that he's late. He blames traffic, and she declares that he'll spend the entire day with her. They head to a mall, play arcade games, and try riding a motorcycle game together, but are told they can't, so they run off laughing. In a karaoke booth, Hongju sings badly on purpose, but when Young sings, she stares at him in awe, joking about his surprisingly sexy voice. On their way home, Hongju comments on how much money they wasted on games, but says she had an amazing time. Young agrees, saying all his stress is gone, and then tells her he quit his job. Shocked, she grabs his hand and asks if he did it because of her, and because she stopped him from going to the US. Young denies it and asks her to trust him. Smiling, she agrees. Later at home, while organizing her things, Hongju talks to Hiji on the phone. Hiji, exercising in the park, says she only likes handsome men, admits she made a mistake, and complains that Hongju didn't even stop her. She then reveals that Sun rejected her and declares she'll never date again. Hongju disagrees, saying dating is fun. As Hiji leaves, she thinks her trekking shoes are great for running, but, in frustration, takes them off and throws them away, wondering when she'll forget him. At the same time, Hongju gathers all of Junho's books she had carefully kept and places them outside near the dustbin. The next morning, when Young goes out for a run, he also sees those books and goes jogging. After some time, when Hongju gets ready and goes to work, she sees that all the trash has been cleaned and the books are gone. At that moment, Hyo also comes there. He holds her hand and is about to drop her to the office when a taxi stops there, and Young's mom gets out. Seeing her, Hongju pulls her hand away from Young. Young's mom says that after so many years, Young has returned to Korea, and having such a friend, Hongju took very good care of him. But Young holds Hongju's hand and says, "Mom, she is my girlfriend." His mom then says to Hongju that she wants to talk to her son alone, and to avoid making the situation more awkward, Hongju calls them bye and leaves for work. They go inside the house, where the mom notices that there have been many changes inside. Young quickly sends an emergency message to Uncle Wook to call him there. Meanwhile, the mom says to Young, "So you met Hongju again?" And he asks how she knows. She says she knows everything related to him and says, "You stayed here because of her, right?" Young says that's not the case. Just then, Uncle arrives running. The mom asks him why he made changes to the house when she told him to take care of it. Uncle says that seeing this house reminded her of her husband, so he made changes. The mom goes close to Uncle and says, "What husband?" and tells him not to book hotels for her anymore, because she will stay here. Hearing this, Uncle completely breaks down. Then we see a scene at Hongju's office where a meeting is going on, but she is lost in her thoughts. Ms. Baek says that if anyone is interested in becoming the producer for Junho's project, they should come and meet her in her office. But Hongju is not paying attention at all. She also receives a message from Uncle Wook warning her to be careful, saying that Young's mom is staying with them, so she should not come in front of her. So, at night, Hongju sneaks into the house, where Young is already standing on the stairs. He pulls her up and hugs her from behind. Hongju says that his mom is here. Young says yes and asks if she got scared because his mom suddenly came in the morning. She denies it and says it feels like his mom doesn't like her. Young says that she is just like that and tells her not to worry too much. Hongju says she is also responsible because she is so charming. Hearing this, he looks at her lovingly and agrees. Seeing this, she says that after quitting his job, he has become quite shameless. He agrees and says that he's very happy because now he gets more time to spend with her. Saying this, they hug each other. The next day, Young gets ready and goes to Sangpil's restaurant, which is completely full. As soon as a table gets empty, he goes and sits there. But then 3 girls come, so he gives up the seat for them and stands aside. The girls think he works there, so they start giving him orders. Since he was very handsome, he starts helping Sangpil manage the restaurant. While picking up a bowl to clean a table, it falls and breaks. Seeing this, Sangpil stops him and says, "Do you know how many bowls you've broken today?" Young says yes. Then he goes to do billing, where the girls pay and leave, saying, "Handsome." Just then, he receives a message from Hongju saying that today she wants to eat something good at Sangpil's restaurant. Seeing this, he smiles. On the other side, Young's mom is having a meeting with all the employees and is shouting at them for small mistakes. Seeing this, Uncle Wook sends everyone out and tells her that she can't handle her own son. So why is she taking out her anger here? But she blames him too, saying this happened because of him, that he messed up the project, which is why she sent her son here. Uncle says that what happened earlier was because of him, but what happened later was not his fault. She then says it happened because of Hongju. Hearing this, Uncle is shocked. Meanwhile, Young receives a message from Hongju saying that she went to the bookstore near the school today, and the lady there still remembers him. When Hongju told her that the handsome guy has become her boyfriend, the lady didn't believe her. So now he has to go with her and prove it. Seeing this, Young smiles. Sangpil notices and asks if he is happy after quitting his job, but Young just keeps smiling. In the evening, when Uncle comes out of the office, Ms. Baek also comes there and is getting into her car. Uncle asks if she had dinner. She replies that they are not that close for him to ask her such things, and says that from now on, she won't park her car there, and tells him not to call her again after getting drunk. She says they are already in their 40s, and this is not nice, and sits in the car. Seeing this, Uncle opens the door seriously, comes very close to her, and asks if she is doing whatever she wants because of her age. She thinks he's going to kiss her, so she closes her eyes, but he instead pulls her skirt out of the car door where it got stuck and says, "How did you not notice this?" Seeing this, Ms. Beck gets very angry and shouts, "How dare you touch my skirt?" She pushes him down and leaves. On the other side, Hongju reaches downstairs while talking to Young on the phone and tells him she will just change her dress and come, so he should get the food ready. As soon as she hangs up, the letter she had given to Junho, folded like a plane, comes flying down from above, as if Junho threw it. She goes upstairs and asks him what he is doing there. Showing her the letters, he says he doesn't know what to do with them, that he can neither burn them nor throw them away, and doing so would be very bad. Hongju tells him to throw them away, but he says she has become very cold. Meanwhile, Young's mom is also coming inside the house when a paper plane hits her face, and she starts watching all this. Junho tells Hongju that he will never be able to love again. Hongju says that when the breakup happened, she also thought she would die, but now she is fine and dating again, so he will also find someone. Junho says that he will leave everything behind and break up with her. To this, she says that their breakup happened 3 years ago. Hearing this, he comes over with a box of letters and says, "You gave these from your heart, right? Then you should keep them with yourself." Saying this, he walks away. Hongju, now going downstairs, is picking up all the paper planes when Young's mom arrives in front of her and says, "Your love life is quite messy." Hongju tries to explain that nothing like that has happened, but her mom takes her inside to talk. Young's mom says, "My son will run my company in the future, so I brought him to the US for that." To this, Hongju says, "This should be Young's decision, whether he wants to go or not." Her mom replies, "My decision is his decision. Don't try to hold him back here." Then Hongju says, "He wasn't your son chasing after me. You know, when I had my accident, he was forcibly taking care of me. He even told me he was happy my breakup happened and kissed me, even taking me forcibly to the beach despite my refusal." Hearing all this, her mom is shocked and says, "Your son did all this? And after all this, did you accept him?" Hongju responds, "Young is such a handsome guy. He pursued me, so I said yes." She adds, "You know how many girls he flirted with before? He keeps changing girls like that, so don't hurt yourself. Break up quickly." Hearing this, Hongju says, "Now that you've said your part, I'm leaving." As she leaves, she adds, "Do you know what Young misses because of you?" Hongju replies, "He's really good at calculation, so he left his job after calculating. He knows my value is greater," and she walks away. Meanwhile, Young and Hiji wait inside Sangpil's restaurant, but Hongju hasn't arrived, so Young steps outside to call her. Sangpil tells Hiji what happened at Hongju's company, that she was deliberately assigned as the producer of Junho's animated film, even though she didn't want to work on it. Hiji tells Sangpil not to tell Young everything, but he overhears the conversation anyway. Realizing this, Young rushes to Hongju's house and finds her lying on a bench outside. As he approaches, he notices Junho's letter, picks it up, and goes upstairs with her. He asks what she's thinking about, and Hongju names several girls, saying it reminded her of his ex-girlfriend. Shocked, Young tries to respond, but she confronts him, asking why he didn't tell her the truth, whether he heard it from his mother, and if he had been playing with her feelings too. Young asks her not to believe what his mother said, and tells her to trust him. She questions how she can, reminding him that his mother came to take him back and that he planned to leave without telling her. Young insists he isn't going, but she says she can't trust him because he might leave her as well. They then talk about Junho. Hongju asks why Young didn't tell her about working on the project with him. She says there's nothing between her and Junho and that she already cleared everything, pointing out that Young doesn't trust her. Young replies that he saw her crying over Junho and didn't know how to interfere. Without another word, Hongju goes to her room. The next morning, Young wakes up drunk on the sofa and goes to drink water. His mother asks if this is what he wanted after quitting his job. He replies that he hasn't slept enough and lies back down. Meanwhile, Hongju stands outside the school gate and sees two children jumping off a wall, reminding her of the day she met Young there, when she wanted to confess but couldn't, and later cried while complaining in front of him. She realizes why Young once said he saw her crying and chose her, and finally understands why he cared so deeply. Hiji arrives to have lunch with her, and Hongju admits they argued the previous night and that she was at fault. At the same time, Sang-pil cooks at Young's house, while Young tells him everything that happened. Sang-pil says that when Hongju mentioned her ex, Young should have just pretended. Young replies that there's no one else in her life except Hongju. Sang-pil responds that Young only loves her. Elsewhere, Hiji laughs while listening to Hongju talk about her exes, asking if she's naming singers or actresses before bringing up Junho. Hongju explains she handled everything alone because she didn't want to trouble Young. Sang-pil then shows Young old high school photos, pointing out one where Hongju had indigestion but still didn't go to the hospital. He recalls how she once drunkenly said she dreamed everyone was leaving her and no one stayed behind. When asked what she wanted, she said she just wanted to say goodbye. Young remembers how she always said goodbye to him and once asked him to tell her when he left so she wouldn't wait for someone who wouldn't return. Sang-pil says everyone carries fears from the past, and this is Hongju's fear, one that Young listens to deeply. The scene shifts to the school playground where Sun is coaching kids in football. As Hiji walks past, a ball flies toward her, and Sun jumps in to save her. The ball hits her face, her nose starts bleeding, and she faints. When she wakes up in the teacher's restroom with an ice pack on her face, Sun arrives, and she pretends to be asleep. He tells her he knows she's awake. She asks if he'll still say he doesn't like her. Finally, hiccuping slightly, Sun confesses that he loves her. Smiling happily, she says she loves him too, and they share a kiss. Meanwhile, Young's mom comes home, sees Sang-pil, and he explains he's Young's best friend. She asks about Young, and Sang-pil says he was here but doesn't know where he went. She goes upstairs. Young is sitting on the outside bench, and his mom asks him to come inside. He refuses and asks if she has ever regretted or missed this place. She says no. Young says that when he was troubled, he thought about moments here, and coming here made him realize he always missed this place and Hongju, which helped him get through sad times. Hongju, seeing its sick-sock, rushes home to meet Young, but almost collides with a scooter. Young saves her and says he was also coming to her. She looks at him with tears in her eyes. Then a high school flashback shows Hongju and Hiji having lunch together, joined by Sang-pil, who says he wishes Young were there, but he left without saying goodbye. Hongju cries like she did for Junho, placing her hand on her chest, feeling pain. They think she has indigestion, but the reason is different. In the present, they apologize to each other. Hongju says she didn't yell at him because she didn't trust him, but because she panicked and wanted to blame him for her past fears. Young kisses her and says yes. Hongju realizes she's been feeling love for Young for a long time. Young takes her home. She tells him to go inside, and he asks if she wants ramen. She says yes, and he comes inside. Hongju is making the bed and warns him about the cold. Young thinks she's asking him to sit on the bed, but she quickly gives him a blanket. She asks which ramen he wants, and they sit together choosing. They are very close. Hongju suddenly jumps up, and Young asks what she's thinking besides eating ramen. She says nothing. Young warns her not to give him wrong ideas. As he starts cooking ramen, she comes to give him water but stands at a distance, then sits on a cardboard box next to him. He suggests she sit on a chair, but she refuses. While eating, she praises his talent and asks if he's really not going to the US. He holds her hand and admits his shortcomings, saying he realized he wasn't good at gaming and singing after meeting her. In Sang-pil's restaurant, 8 bowls were broken. Young says he wants to live a normal life with her, not just ordinary. Hongju says that might be difficult. She almost falls, and Young falls trying to save her. Hongju was on top of him. Young says she did it on purpose, but she denies it. Young says she must take responsibility and kisses her, but she covers her mouth, saying they'll eat ramen first. The next morning, Hongju and Young come downstairs. Hongju says he should have come down earlier. He says she held him while sleeping. As they reach downstairs, Young's mom appears. They freeze, but she doesn't say anything and walks away. Hongju tells her mom goodnight, then follows her. Mom notices Hongju following her and asks why. Hongju walks ahead and says, "It's not like that." She goes ahead again and says, "Why are you doing all this?" Hongju apologizes for yesterday. Mom calls her mother and Hongju asks what she should call her. She says, Miss Bayek, but Hongju says that's too formal. They both want Young to be happy, and she likes him a lot, so she must also like his mom. She rushes to her office. Mom notices her office is next to hers and thinks their meeting is destiny. Next scene, Young is discussing investment with a man. The man asks if Young's mom knows about this, warning she won't let him go easily. Young says she knows how capable he is. The man happily agrees to work with him and says not to go to anyone else. Meanwhile, Mom is inside the office with Uncle Wook, pushing Young, saying he's like her because he runs his own business. He was taking investment from someone else to get started, but Uncle was angry and said that this was not the time to impress anyone. We should think about how to keep him here. In the next scene, we see Sun talking to a colleague, and in the course of conversation, they mention that he doesn't even have a girlfriend. Sun then looks towards Hiji and gets scared because she is glaring at him. She then asks him to step outside to talk and asks why he is hiding his relationship. Sun says it's to prevent rumors about her, but Hiji holds his hand and says that none of that matters. At that moment, two students come by, and Sun quickly frees his hand and says he won't exchange classes with them, and they leave. After this, we see Hongju and Young lying on the bed. Young is only looking at her, but she tells him to read a book. Young says he is more interested in looking at her, which makes her smile, and she covers her face with the book. Hongju then closes her eyes to rest, and as she lovingly watches him, she remembers her school days when she was sitting in class planning her career. She saw Young playing basketball outside the window and thought about how athletic he was, yet how he had fallen into that pit. Later, when Young was in the library, she secretly brought an anime movie and asked him to watch it. But some girls passed by, so Young hid it. In the present, Hongju is touching Young's face, but he grabs her hand. She tells him he looks exceptionally handsome, and he says it reminded him of some good moments. When Young asks, she doesn't tell him, and they both fall asleep together. The next morning, Hongju sees snow falling outside and the doorbell rings. She thinks it's Young, but it is actually his mom. She invites them in, but notices that the fridge is empty and says she has nothing to offer them. The mom also says she doesn't have much time and gives her an envelope. Meanwhile, Young sees a suitcase at home, and his mom tells him she is going to headquarters and asks if they can have lunch together before leaving. They start eating, and she tells him she didn't go to the US because of his dad, but because there was potential for them there. She mentions she hasn't approved his resignation letter yet, and has filed a case against him for leaking internal information. Young says he hasn't done anything, and she says she knows, but wants to see how he handles the situation. Actually, Young's dad had an affair with someone else, which led to divorce, and when he realized his mistake, he apologized to her mom, but she never forgave him. That's why she went to the US and never wanted to return to Korea because of his dad. Next, Hongju revisits all the places she had been with Young and discovers that Young's mother had placed a card inside the envelope, offering Hongju the chance to use it and come to the US so the three of them could live together. Hongju questions how she knows the card won't be used for something else, but Young's mom replies that she fully trusts her son's choice and knows he's ready to give up everything to stay with her. On the way, Hongju meets Hyeji's father, who offers her a hot drink, but she insists on paying herself. They go to a convenience store, where she buys several items and pays using Young's mother's card. She explains everything to him, and he remarks that the US isn't a nearby place, so how could she simply go there? Hongju says she likes him too much. So what else can she do? Mr. Kim advises her to follow what feels right and asks who the boy is. When she says it's Young, both are shocked. Meanwhile, Young loads his mother's belongings into a taxi. She tells him she'll wait for him and Hongju in the US. Hongju rushes to Young's house and knocks, but no one is home. She searches everywhere but can't find her. That evening, Hongju lies on the floor at home, repeatedly switching the lights on and off. Young calls, but she doesn't answer. When he arrives and sees the lights on, he runs upstairs and stops sadly before knocking. The next day, Hiji sits alone at school, thinking that even during free periods, he doesn't come to see her. She wonders if she's truly dating someone since he hasn't replied to her messages. She then notices her father arriving with teachers, including Sun, who waves at her. But when no one responds, she walks away annoyed. Her heel gets stuck, and seeing this, her father asks who will marry her. Sun helps free her heel, puts it back on, and declares he'll marry her, saying they should follow their feelings. He carries her away, and both are clearly happy. Next, Uncle Wook visits Sangpil's restaurant. Noticing Jam's bag, he says he wants to sit there and reserves the empty table. Miss Beck later joins them. Though initially annoyed, she eventually orders drinks herself, and The following day, Hongju calls Young to meet at the school. As they walk and talk, Young holds her hand and asks if they should go to the US together, saying he can't stay without her. Tearfully, Hongju says she likes him deeply, but can't go for his sake. Young says he understands and promises to return from the US, as everything she loves is here. He gives her Junho's first novel, which she had thrown away, but he had saved. When she opens it, a highlighted line reads, "First love is very special because it only happens once in a lifetime." He reminds her of their memories tied to it, urges her to follow her dream, and promises to come to her world after finishing his work. Overwhelmed, Hongju hugs him. We then see them back at the same school scene, where Young introduces Hongju as his girlfriend, finally convincing the lady. They spend quiet time together, decorating a Christmas tree, and watching an anime movie. Hongju falls asleep on his shoulder, while Young stays awake till the end, pauses at the scene showing her name, and then falls asleep beside her. As days pass, Hongju is seen with Hiji, who says her mother plans to sue her, but Hongju assures her she can handle it. Hiji asks why she doesn't force him to stay, but Hongju refuses, saying it isn't right to insist. Hiji suggests going to the US with him, but Hongju says she can't leave him behind. To keep her from feeling lonely, Hiji decides to spend more time with her. Meanwhile, Sangpil, Hiji, and Sun celebrate Christmas with Young at his house. Hongju informs them she'll be late. Sun asks why she's working even today, and Hiji replies that she only has her career since her boyfriend is leaving. Sangpil asks about Uncle Wook, and Young says he won't be coming. Uncle Wook is later seen walking through the snow with Miss Beck, growing closer. Young receives a message that Hongju will be working all night and can't come, so he calls her, but she doesn't answer. Sun steps outside to talk and reminds him they met because of Hyeji's letter, but Young says they first met by chance on a bus. Sun adds that he even helped choose the cafe for their blind date, which brought them together. The next day, Sangpil and Uncle Wook help Young into a taxi as he leaves for the US. When asked about Hongju, he says she's working, though they spoke on the phone. We then see Junho teaching school children about novels and writing. Sun and her father remark that he left without saying goodbye, and that love given to students is always one-sided. Junho says he doesn't need anyone since he has his dear son-in-law, and Sun agrees. Finally, Young is seen sitting sadly at the airport when Hongju arrives wearing a hat and carrying luggage, surprising him. Shocked, he asks, "You're here?" She replies that she's joining him on a long vacation, and he hugs her happily. Hongju says it was hard to keep the surprise, and they share a kiss. The scene shifts to flashbacks of their high school days, showing how they repeatedly met by coincidence, fell sick together, and how Young saved Hongju from a bicycle accident, resulting in a plaster on his leg. Their bond was clearly destined. Hongju is thrilled about her first international trip to the US with Young. She teasingly asks if he has a visa, and jokes that she doesn't even know what a visa is, making him laugh. He reminds her that without a visa, she can't enter the US, but she reveals she was only joking. Both leave for the US together, and with this joyful moment, the drama comes to a happy conclusion. So guys, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next interesting drama. Goodbye.